We are building the Wordle project from the WiByte Python curriculum available at www.wibyte.in. Previously, we saw how we could handle invalid words by basically figuring out if this word is part of the word list. Now, assuming that the word that the user has entered is valid, we've got to now create labels for for the the letters of that word, which must go above these two widgets. So let's see how we do this in this video. Now, important bit to understand here is that whether the word has any letters from the from the chosen word or doesn't have any letters, nonetheless we have to create labels. Of course, these labels will have to get different colors. We'll see that later, but this video will just focus on creating those labels and sort of adjusting so that they start looking nice. So I come in here to my code. Remember I say, okay, if guessed word is in word list, I just have pass right now, so I'm going to remove this pass for now because we are adding some code. Now remember that we are expecting the user to enter 5-letter words. So I just go and say for KK in range, let's say 5, because I know it's a 5-letter word. Otherwise, you can also create a variable. But in this case, we know it's a 5-letter word. Now, first thing first, I'm going to create a bunch of labels. So I just go and say label is equal to tk dot dot label. Again, remember, first define and then place. So first let's define this. The text on this label is going to be guessed word kk, because we are indexing into that string. The whatever kk value is, that's the text on the string. I'm going to convert that to an uppercase. So convert basically get a capital letter. Make sure you put these two brackets at the end, because that is the one that makes the method run. We have seen this before. I'm going to say font is equal to 12. Now again, this is a matter of choice. I'm going to put some border to this. Say border width is equal to say 1, and I'll use relief, which is the type of the border, to be in this case solid. Now again, this is something that's really stylistic, so you can choose to do it differently. But remember, this is just defining the the label. We got to now we need to place this thing, and I'm going to use the grid method as we have seen before. I'm going to say look, label dot grid, and row is equal to say 0, because I want it to be in the very top. Column is equal to kk, and sticky is equal to say tk.nsew. Now we have seen this before. Basically, grid method is going to convert this entire window into a bunch of cells, which we can then address with row and column. Now I'm saying, okay, put this on row 0, column kk, because kk goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 here, and I expect the letters to be appearing exactly as 5 labels. Now the chosen word is blast over here. I'm going to try, let's say, party. Now party is a valid word. When I click on guess, notice I get these 5 labels forming right here on top of the on top of this entry box, because remember the row is 0, column is kk, so column was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The text for these were guessed word 0, guessed word 1, and until guessed word 4. And I'm converting that to uppercase using this. Now this looks pretty cool. The labels are quite fine. However, I want to make them look a little bit more squarish. So what I will do is that just add just one option to this. There's this interesting option called pad x and pad y. Well, they determine how much sort of extra spacing do we have on the x and the y direction. Now in this case, I'm just going to add a little bit of pad y here, pad y of 5, because what that does is that it makes my labels become a little bit more squarish and they look nice. Let's say I try the word music and I get music. Look, the labels now have become a bit more squarish because there's some padding being done on the y direction, and that is looking pretty nice. And I think with this we are in fact done. The interesting bit here is to think about how the grid placement is working. Remember, this was row 99, this was row 100. Now this here is row 0, because so long as they are in order, we are in fact done. I hope you found this interesting. If you think this way of learning, where we learn by building activities, by seeing concepts in action, if this appeals to you, look at our website www.wibyte.in, because we have many such activities on our website. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.